Hi YouTube subscribers. A lot of you are subscribing to my YouTube channel because of my X7 videos, and now I've decided to go for the Go Discover from Hobby King. Two of my friends and I have had holes burning in our pockets, so we purchased these ones, first batch out of the European warehouse, and now we're going to put them together and have some fun. The contents of the box is here as shown on the table. The two wings with servos pre-installed. We've got some fasteners for the wings, some extra clips here for connecting the control arms to the servo horns, some Velcro, a bag full of extra attachments for the gimbal if you're going to use different sizes of cameras. You've got the wing fences, some vertical stabilizers, and the fuselage already with a gimbal installed, the ESC and the motor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this on a, as it says in the manual, it should be a 3000 to 4000 milliamp hour 4S battery. I'm going to run it on a 3600, just somewhere in the middle. We're going to get rid of these clips here and this bag. What I've already done is I've pre-installed the gimbal housing for the GoPro Hero 3 that I have. Let's start by looking into that first. To take this canopy off, you have two screws here. You turn them 90 degrees so they point upwards, and you should pull them out. And there's another one on the other side here, and pop that out. Then it's this part here of the housing that actually comes off. This other part stays in place, so you sort of have to get your nails underneath and just prise this up. Now as you open it, be careful that you don't drop the dome. I've already done that, but it's okay. And this comes out of the housing quite easy. If you scratch it on a bad landing or whatever, you should be able to turn it and get the scratches out of view. So inside of here you have the gimbal. Now these are run on what look like two 9-gram servos. Supposedly they're geared in some way, but it's difficult to see. What I had to do was I had to replace this housing at the front here so that it actually fits the GoPro 3. It had a smaller one on there. I'm not sure if that's for the newer GoPro or the older GoPro. To be able to put your camera in, then if you turn it gently to one side here, then it exposes this metal clip here. You pull that one out. And then if you turn it all the way the other way, you also have another metal clip at the bottom here, and pull that one out. It's a little bit tight. Let's see. There we go. Pop. So pull this one out. And then what that allows you to do is that releases the back here. And that's what it looks like. Then you're going to fit it to the camera. You just slot it in place, and you can see here that it actually has a cutout here, so you'll be able to access the USB, the HDMI, and also a little bit here to give you a microphone. And then also it exposes the connector on the back. Now what happens is that these two holes then slide on some plastic pins. It's a little bit fiddly, so bear with me. So that slides there, like so, fits there, and then obviously put these metal pins back in. Now when I first fitted the camera in, it was very loose inside, and then I realised that I had the wrong back on. The back that I had on, it was just a little bit too big. So that meant that the GoPro rattled around a little bit. You don't want to have that, because when you're going up flying, it's just going to shake around and give you a bad image. Obviously this surround here then stops the light from flashing and reflecting off the inside of the dome. So there we go, that's now installed. To install this back, then you have a groove here in the front that aligns up with this lip here on the dome. You just need to put that in place. It's a little bit fiddly. There we go. So, something like that. And then we're just going to slide it down a little bit. Now this is something that I obviously have to get better at, because when I'm gonna be flying now, the camera's going to be recording and just wasting memory. So, like so. There we go. And then take these plastic fasteners, put it in so that it's vertical like that, and then turn it to be on the horizontal. Obviously more aerodynamic. And then on the same on the other side. Put it in so that it's vertical, and then turn it to be horizontal. And that's it. The GoPro is now installed in the dome. Right. Then I'll take away the Velcro for just now. Throw that away. And I'll take away this bag now, because I've already put in the housing, the GoPro that I have. Now, what's next is then we're going to take the wings, and then we've got these fences. Now you normally have wing end fences, and these are wing fences. Now you have to be careful that don't just go gluing them in place. I would suggest that you dry fit them first, because what you'll find is that these are actually tethered in a certain way to actually fit the contour of the wing. So the shorter side will be on the inside of the wing, so that it follows the contour. So let me just double check to make sure that what I'm saying is right. There we go. So then it's going to fit. It's going to fit nice on both sides, there and there. Just to show you, because I dry fitted it wrongly before, and then I saw that I had this issue. And then what we have is we have a gap here, and that's not so good. So we make sure that we put these ones on the right way, like so. Now it does say in the manual that these fences are removable in one part, and then on the next page it says that you should glue them in place. Obviously I think you should glue them in place, and then like so. So that's what it's going to be. I won't glue them in this video, but in the box you get this foam safe glue. So if you're going to get the kit and you don't get this one, make sure you use the foam safe glue. So that's one wing. Obviously we'll do the same for the next wing. And fit this one on first here. And it'll just be a case of putting a little bit of glue inside here. I don't think you'll have to do anything more than that. I think that's going to be secure enough. So, and I think that it's going to be, when you're gluing them into place, although they fit quite well, use some kind of straight edge here just to make sure that they're actually straight when you glue them in. You don't want them going off to one side. That's not going to be good for having stability in the air. Okay, so then we'll take the carbon fibre rod, center spar, and we'll put that. There are now in this the PNP version. Don't know about the kit, but in the PNP version there is a plastic tube that runs all the way through this through the fuselage here, and inside I noticed as well that it's also in there, so that's good. You're not going to catch it on the foam, and come time the foam won't what do you say, become a bit loose and so on. So it's good that it's going through that plastic rod there. Hobby King have been very good in the way they package this as well, and they actually put the servo leads inside the plastic tubing here, so it's just to pull that out. Now the way this wing is going to fasten, it's going to use these same plastic fasteners as we saw here for the dome housing. It's going to use the same 2 on each wing underneath. Now in the P&P version, the other camera stopped recording, so I'll continue from here. But I assume in the kit version that this plastic tubing would have to be glued in place by yourself, and then this piece of foam. The servos are already pre-installed underneath this black decal here. Looks like some kind of plastic plate underneath there. I'm not sure. I think it's probably just put in place by the decal. Then here you've got some skids on the wings, obviously because it's a belly lander. Now, when you're going to glue these vertical stabilizers on, now I'm in a bit of a mess. When you're going to glue these vertical stabilizers on, they only go one way, and that's this way. You can't glue this one in the other one, it's not shaped in the right way. But be careful when you're going to glue that on. Obviously you would want to put the glue inside here in this recess, but don't put any glue in this area here, in this square cutout. Because as I noticed that when you put the wing on, that's actually where the servo connector is actually going to go through for the elevon. The easiest way to do that is just take the lead, put it through the hole. You can see here maybe, I put it through there. That's where it's going to go through. So you don't want to have any glue in that area. So push as much as you can through, and then get your hand inside and grab hold of the loose end. If I can feel it in here, there, I've got it now. And then as you're sliding on the wing, just pull the other end of the servo connector there. And you see that it's going to, these plastic lugs here will just slot into place. Just pull the excess so that we don't have it any curled up. And it's pretty decent fit. Very nice here, no deformities there. Nicely matches up at the front and so on. Not the same as the Skywalker. I had a little bit of trouble in this area with putting in plastic mouldings, but this is quite straightforward. To fasten the wings then, you're going to take these plastic lugs and put them in here. A bit difficult to do. Just, let's see if I got it in the right place. And this is the first time I'm putting these on, so let's see if these actually fit quite easy. No, they don't. Let's see what's the problem in here. Is it actually pushed? I hadn't pushed it all the way, and that's interesting. That doesn't quite line up so well. You really have to force them in. It's a very tight fit, so it's not easy to put these in. So I won't do that in this video because I'm just going to waste some time. I'll have to push that in quite tight. See if there's some adjustment there. Let me try the other wing just so you can see what happens. So you can see what the whole thing looks like. Through the hole down here. Now it's getting big and clumsy. The other end here. Here it is. See how it scrunches up there? You don't want to have that. So just pull the excess inside the fuselage and make sure that it's nicely put in place. That one seems to fit just. That one fits much better actually. There's a slight gap on the other one, so let's just see. Yeah, I can see. But that looks nicer in there already. I assume that this is just going to slot right in. Yeah. So the other one just needs to be adjusted ever so slightly, but this one fits perfectly at the front. Let's have a look. Yeah. A bit tight. Okay. Let's be a little bit forceful here then and see if actually these align. Yeah. No, not quite. Right. So there needs to be a bit of adjustment there. That's a bit of a shame because otherwise the model looks really, really nice. But that's a tiny, tiny defect. It's probably, I think I can see why when this was glued on, I can see that this is not. So I need to take a knife and just cut a little bit of this off. They've probably just been, it's just a few millimeters there which is stopping that from fitting. But I think that's all, that's nothing really, nothing to worry about. I wouldn't say that that's a bad construction because of that. So, that's pretty much what the model looks like. You see there my point about not putting glue in this area is that those servo connectors are going to go in there. So let's just quickly, these are just slot into place. Now when you put these in, when you gonna glue these into place, they're a bit tricky, so you kind of have to push this point right to the front and then sort of slot it in towards the back, and that's going to get in place. And you see it pops up, you just have to guide it into place like so. And then do the same with this one. Obviously I'm going to glue them later. Like so. And that's pretty much it. Inside, the ESC is already installed. What I really like is I like this rear hatch here. You can just pull that off. It's actually got a magnet there so that you can get access to the connectors there to connect the motor. Obviously not sure if the motor's spinning in the right direction, but then it's easier just to change two of those cables around. Probably gonna put some tape on here. I never really trust magnets. If we look in here, I believe that inside here, if you can see this circular part there, I believe that's where the CG point is. So that's going to be an ideal place to put some autopilot, some gyro, some stability sensors, what have you, in there. I'm actually going to use APM 2.5 and the OSD that goes along with that. I've got that on order, so later on in my videos you'll see that go in there. Then, as I said in the beginning of the video, the 4S battery, that's going to slot down somewhere in the front here, I would assume. And you'll notice straight away that this was also bought by Hobby King. I bought at Hobby King. I bought 3 of these ones, and you'll notice the connectors are different here. So you obviously have to, if you're going to buy this, then you need to get your hands on some 10 AWG cable. Get yourself a packet of these connectors, and then obviously it's an XT60 connectors as well, so that you can match that up. So just buying a battery, buying the PNP version won't get you in the air without doing a little bit of soldering, or yeah, maybe you can buy the connector at Hobby King. I haven't checked that out, but I'll solder it in place anyway. Obviously the PNP version doesn't come with a receiver, so you're going to have to put in your own receiver in here as well. These 2 servo leads that are coming from the front are obviously for the pan and tilt. This one here that's coming out of the ESC is for your throttle, which will also power your receiver and give power to all of your servos. But I won't be using this. I will take out the red cable and just tie that off, and I'll put in a separate UBEC, and then you have the other 2 connectors that we pulled through for the elevons. So that is it. Obviously if I just put some glue as I had gone along, I would have built the new Go Discover. Thanks for watching. Cheers.